Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is daily analytical report. So, without a further ado, let's start with the macro calendar. Macro calendar is rich this week, but the thing is that we are still under the influence of the speech from Mr. Jerome Powell. He was hawkish, and the dollar is much stronger right now. Gold is weaker because of the stronger dollar, and we do have a correction on stocks. Other data, I don't want to say that we are ignoring other data, but they are not so influential. Let me show you the data from yesterday again. Weaker retail sales from Japan caused stronger Japanese yen. We had weaker PMIs from China. We had lower CPI from Eurozone, which was negative information for Euro. Euro is much lower right now. GDP from US came more or less in line with expectations. We had also weaker data from the housing market, pending home sales, and PCE, personal consumption expenditure prices, also was weaker than expectations, but the change was not so big. For the data from today, manufacturing PMIs from China were better than expected. GDP from Switzerland in line with expectations. Unemployment in Italy surprisingly higher than expectations. What we got also, manufacturing PMI from Eurozone higher than expectations. So as you can see, all the data is mixed. Some of the data is higher, some of the data is lower. No major direction here. We are waiting for the manufacturing PMI for cable, for British pound. Pound is losing heavily recently. As you can see on the calendar, we didn't have data which can cause that, so it's all Brexit. Today we will have the continuation of PCE, personal consumption expenditures, and ISM manufacturing PMI, which will be important for the American dollar. On Friday, the situation for pound can reverse because we do have a speech from Mark Carney and Theresa May. Definitely we will hear some insights about Brexit, and don't forget about GDP from Canada. As you can see, data is mixed, but the general sentiment right now on the market is a stronger dollar, which is still an influence of Jerome Powell, as we said. I want to continue with the technical analysis now, because fundamentally that's it. We don't have any major things that are happening in the calendar. So I will start with the dollar index, which is continuing this nice pattern of this double bottom formation, or inverse head and shoulder formation. But the left shoulder, if there is a left shoulder, is pretty small, so I would say it's a double bottom formation here. Breakout of the neckline triggers us a legitimate buy signal. So we created this line yesterday, and as you can see, yesterday we had a nice upswing. Today, price is making higher highs and higher lows. Well, so far the candle is very small, but the European session has just started. The aim for this target, for this setup, is here is on 91.7. That's a resistance created by support from the August and September and from the beginning of January 2018. That for me is a very good place for bounce, for a, oh, that's a good target for this upswing. Actually, this head and shoulder formation is gone. Well, it's done. Let's say it's done, but I would like to see if there is a correction equality pattern here. This upswing was pretty big. Okay. So there is a potential target from this resistance, there is a potential target from this resistance and a trend line. And there is also this correction equality pattern. So, but I think that this can be enough. They don't necessarily need to make the same correction here. But definitely what is happening here is that we're having a midterm positive sentiment towards American dollar. American dollar to Japanese yen, as you can see, since 2 days, 3 days, we have a combination of a weaker dollar here and a stronger Japanese yen. So if we have a stronger dollar across the market, but here we do have a significant drop, it means that the yen is much stronger than the American dollar, right? Because American dollar is strong. Japanese yen is strong, but here we do have a downswing, so Japanese yen is stronger than the American dollar, which beautifully can be seen on, for example, British pound to Japanese yen. And the reason why I'm showing this position is that I have this position opened on my live trading account. But I will come back to this later. So let me continue with American dollar to Japanese yen first. What we have here is the price being below horizontal resistance. The price is below the horizontal resistance and below the downtrend line. The price is also creating a pennant, and we broke the lower line of the pennant, which actually should trigger us a strong sell signal. So we should see a continuation of this drop. Gold is suffering from the stronger dollar, right? We got a drop below the horizontal support. We broke this support as well, and then the price created a flag. It depends how we'll draw it. We can draw it like that. It's still flag. A flag is a trend continuation pattern. Trend was bearish. So we got a breakout of the lower line of the flag, and now the price is aiming support on $1,307 per ounce. Is it a strong support? It is super strong support. Look at that. It was a resistance here. After the breakout, support, 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 and now it will be another another chance to test it as a support. I'm looking forward for this test. Any bullish pattern and a bullish candlestick pattern on that area will be an invitation to go long. Will be a very sweet invitation to go long. But so far definitely sentiment is bearish in the short term, because it gives only a chance for $3. So far, $3. Maybe we'll see more. Bitcoin, what is happening on Bitcoin is decreased volatility. We are back to respecting $10,000, this red area. So 11,000 is a strong resistance. $10,000 is a strong support resistance, but more in the short term. Like here, resistance after breakout, support, resistance. Definitely, it is respected. As long as we stay above the 10,000, we have a chance to aim for 11,200 here. But as long as we stay below the yellow area, below this checkpoint, we don't have a buy signal. Price getting to this checkpoint will trigger a buy signal on Bitcoin. Now, cable. I'm sorry, I moved this trend line. The cable is in a very nice bearish situation here. Why is that? We broke combination of 3 important supports, like super important. I would have a short position here, but I already have a short position on pound to Japanese yen, so I don't want to increase exposure on pound. If the cable will continue to go down, cable to Japanese yen will continue to go down as well. What we are having here is the price in an uptrend, and most recently in a symmetric triangle and above a horizontal support. This green area is very important because it was a support in February 2016. So the price was above 3 important supports: upper line, lower line of the triangle, uptrend line, and a horizontal support here. And yesterday we broke 3 of them. The price reached this mark which we placed there yesterday, and we said that once the price will get there, we will have a sell signal. Well, how about that? We are actually on on the lowest level since the middle of January, and we are 80 pips lower than our signal from yesterday, so good for us again. Where we think a target for this is 130 pips lower, and that is the support created by the resistance from here, from the end of September, and the resistance from the beginning of January. So I am looking forward for the price testing this area. That will be absolutely amazing if the price would get there. Just from the curiosity, where are the Fibos? Also, but I think that, yes, this line will be more relevant. Here I'm trying to look for next supports. And also, maybe a correction quality pattern. Well, correction quality pattern is close. But I think we will go deeper. Unfortunately, we don't have a combination of few supports in the same time. We would have it here, but it would mean that we should slowly go lower, not like a sharp drop, but slowly, gradually. We should go lower. Anyway, the thing is that there is still a short-term sell sentiment here. This is the outcome from Mr. Powell. So drop on stocks. That can be considered as a false breakout. Well, it's still awesome, it's still great, we're still on high levels, but technically it does not look tempting. It does not look good for buyers, in my opinion. FTSE. What FTSE is having is a wedge, and we broke the lower line of the wedge, which actually opens us a way to test the 7,100 points again. 7,100 points, very important support, super important support, and with the recent development we should see the price aiming the support, and we will see. But in my opinion, we should get there very soon. Australian dollar to Canadian dollar touched almost the parity. We missed 9 pips, and then was scared off by this number, and we are heading to the support again. Situation is not very interesting because there is a sideways trend, unfortunately, but well, what can we do? Not much is happening on this pair. as long as we are above the green area, sentiment is positive. As long as we are below the, let's say, brown area, the sentiment is negative. So overall, the sentiment is neutral. Not much is happening here, unfortunately. I like trading in trends. There is no trend here. The same as on New Zealand dollar to American dollar. We broke the neckline, but the price is trying to defend the horizontal support. Super important one. Actually, I would like to check if there is a Fibonacci's. Oh, obviously 38.2. With it's like a pharmacy here. So that was an awesome trade here. But that seems reasonable as well. The thing is that buying here with a stop loss here gives you a great risk to reward ratio. So we buy here, stop loss is around 50 pips lower, and the potential target is about 200 pips higher. So it makes sense. It makes sense from the risk to reward ratio point of view, which is demanding, which is tempting, which is desirable. Here, American dollar to Canadian dollar, yes, it's happening exactly what was expected by us, which way makes me extremely happy. Why it was expected? Well, a few factors. So we broke the upper line of the symmetric triangle. Then we tested that as the closest support. Then we broke the horizontal resistance here, the horizontal support. 1, 2, 3, 4 bullish candles in a row. The potential target is here. In my opinion, we should get there very, very soon. It is all good as long as we stay above the 126.14. The sentiment is positive. Unfortunately, that was a good trading signal 2 days ago, and we are warning you about that. Or on Friday, or on, it was good last week, but now risk to reward ratio here is quite bad. Risk to reward ratio is not the best here, so there is no good place here to place stop loss, and the potential target is too close. So it looks like the price should get there easily, but trading wise it's different. And I always try to tell those things apart. Like the sentiment is one thing, the trading occasion is another thing. You need to, when you trade, you need to think about stop loss and take profit orders. Euro to British pound, unfortunately, what is having here is a sideways trend. Higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. No particular order whatsoever. I'm just waiting for the breakout of either the green line, the green support, or the blue resistance. As long as we stay between those two, there is nothing. Oil made a bigger correction. Well, stronger dollar is the reason. It's not about OPEC because there is a huge belief among the market participants that OPEC will deliver those cuts. I think that we can remove those horizontal supports. They are not actually respected much now. There is, for me, from the technical point of view, there is nothing here. I don't see any good setup on oil. Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar. Well, that's pretty awesome setup. Maybe you don't see candles, but I want to show you on here on a daily chart. It's even better, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. So okay. So upswing, left shoulder, head and right shoulder, breakout of the neckline, triggers as a sell signal, neckline is confirmed as a resistance, then is confirmed as a resistance for the second time. There is a shooting star for the second time, so we touch this resistance, then we reverse, and now we have a confirmation of the shooting star, so the price is breaking horizontal support and making lower lows and lower highs. And that is just beautiful. That is an amazing display of the price action principles. And with this kind of setup, what you should do, what you can do, obviously, we need to readjust this. Is sell here, stop loss can be here, so stop loss is like 80 pips. Let me show you the potential target, 80 pips stop loss. The potential target is here, 350. That is a good risk to reward ratio, more than 4. Profit is 4 times bigger than the potential loss, which makes this trade a very, very good midterm trading opportunity. So I'm very happy that we have a trading signal. Another one. American dollar to Canadian dollar. Here, the setup is very similar because broken support is tested as a resistance for the second time, like here. But here we had a formation. Here we do not have a formation. But, well, there is no sell signal here yet because we are waiting for the reaction. So far, there is no bearish reaction whatsoever. So the price can still break this resistance. And sell signal, in case if the day will close above the blue area, that will be a strong sell signal. That will be a strong buy signal. I'm sorry, if the price will close above the blue area, that will be a buy signal. If the price will create a bearish reversal pattern on the blue area, that will be a strong sell signal. American dollar to Singaporean dollar, a bit of a sideways trend, but we are in the channel down formation. We are below the horizontal resistance. What we are expecting here is price testing that level and bouncing towards the supports. Silver is very close to the major sell signal. We are still above the long-term uptrend line, this black line. Price closing below the black line should give us a sell trading signal towards the orange area. So far there is none because we are defending, but we are not so far from creating one. Okay, so long story short, on silver we are very close to create a sell signal. New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar, I was thinking about the fourth correction equality pattern. This one were the same, but this one seems smaller, especially that we created a double bottom formation on a horizontal support. Horizontal support is important. Here, here, here. I don't think they will necessarily try to make a correction equality pattern. I don't think it's needed, to be honest with you. They can go up without it, especially that they have this good sentiment here from 50% Fibo and from the double bottom on 50% Fibo. Euro to New Zealand dollar. Here, the sentiment was positive, but decreased recently. But I think it's just a short-term, mid-term price fluctuation without any particular meaning. So as long as we are above the blue area and above the long-term uptrend line, the sentiment is still positive. As long as we are above this area, sentiment is positive and we do have a buy signal. And now my trade is, I'm so happy with this trade, but it was so technical. Look, downtrend, wedge, Wedge ended with a false breakout of the horizontal resistance. I love false breakouts. They are very strong trading signals. False breakout, then breakout of the midterm uptrend line. Midterm, well, from August. Some would say it's long term. Then we defended horizontal support, but then we broke it. And look at that. Here we got a breakout of the lower line of the wedge and a horizontal support. Very strong sell signal. I don't think that myself. Everybody thinks that. Look, every trader in the world who was watching British pound to Japanese yen thinks that, because all they did was selling. That's why we do have such a strong drop. It's stop loss activation, obviously, because if you bought here, where you had your stop loss order? First stop loss order were below the uptrend line, and rest of them were here and below this low. And activation of those stop loss order for the long position is a sell order, so activation of sell orders brought the price lower. And I'm gonna move to break even soon with my stop loss order, and I will try to aim for this, which will be the biggest profit in my life. We'll see if it's gonna happen. 700 pips. If I got 700 pips with one lot on British pound to Japanese yen, I would be the happiest man on the record. Now DAX has a sell signal because they bounced from 38.2 and they broke the lower line of the wedge. Oh, look at that. British pound to Japanese yen again. Downswing, wedge, bounce from 38.2, breakout of the lower line of the wedge, downswing. DAX, downswing, wedge, bounce from 38.2, breakout of the lower line of the wedge, downswing. You just cannot make that up. That's the power of the technical analysis. Currently, we are defending 23.6. Price closing below this support should lead us to 11,900 points on DAX. Last but not least, Euro dollar. Everything started with the false breakout, downswing, symmetric triangle, breakout of the support and the lower line of the symmetric triangle, and a downswing. I absolutely love this situation recently on currencies because it's so technical that my heart is so happy. That is why my account is on all-time highs right now, and I'm having some nice trades as well, because not every, but many instruments, like 80% of them, are moving technically. No storm on the market, no unexpected volatility, no excessive volatility, just pure technical movements, pure price action. So even if you don't believe in that, well, you just have to see that people who use it now have a very good time. They are making money. So even if you don't believe that, maybe just use this time to learn it and see that it really works, and you will start believing in technical analysis. So on euro dollar, we are expecting the price to drop to 120.80, 120.70. That's a strong support for us. Thanks very much for watching daily analytical report. I hope you enjoyed that, and see each other on the trading, on the webinar about the trading psychology, which we'll have in half an hour. Thank you very much and goodbye. In the meantime, visit our Twitter account and our website, alpari.news.